Welcome back to another episode of Podcast P, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original. It's your guy, PG. Join with me are my lovely co-host, Dallas Rutherford.
Lovely.
Okay. And Jackie Lowe.
Yeah. Shabba dabba tweet.
I never know which version we're going to get. You dig or
you know I got to switch it
never
up.
do you wrong or you do switch it up. But we got another special guest. You know how we coming, dog. This man is up there. We had Mikal Bridges, who had one of the best in-game celebrations. I think this dude right here has one of the ice cold celebrations in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Give it up for our guest, Ice Trae Young.
My man.
Can we do that? Can we do that?
I need a sweater. Somebody bring a sweater, please. Oh.
Chill.
You right. Chill.
What's up, Brody, man? Appreciate you on the pod, bro.
Man, appreciate you having me on, man.
Absolutely. How's life, man? Congratulations. How's fatherhood going?
Good. I'm two kids under 2. My son just turned 2 on June 2nd, and then I have an 8-month-old girl, and it's life-changing, bro.
Also, you've been changing diapers.
Oh, yeah.
You've been changing diapers.
You've been on Father Time.
No, for sure. I have a younger brother, like 12 years younger than me, so when I was a little 10, 12-year-old, I was working.
Oh, you was doing
helping some, but it's different when it's your kids, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, that is different.
It's life changing.
How many diapers you change a day though, for real? You ain't changing all. You ain't changing a lot of diapers.
I ain't gonna lie. Right now, I'm busy working out, so it's like
That's your
you know
excuse.
what I'm saying?
That's
The
your
wife,
excuse.
that's where the wife comes in. and takes care of business.
I the first one you changing quite a bit. The first baby you changing quite a bit of diapers.
I agree.
Then you like I can't keep doing this.
You know what? I seen you change Vuk. I see you change Vuk on the jet.
That's my guy.
I see you change Vuk.
But the first like my Olivia, I changed probably like I say a good 20-30% diapers. And then Natasha's probably like a cool 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Is it hard?
And then it goes down after.
Is it hard changing a girl's diaper as a father? Because I don't have no kids, so is that why y'all saying that y'all don't want to change?
This just went a weird direction.
I'm just saying, like
This is real parenting right here.
my boy got a daughter. He said he don't want to change her because he think the mom should just change her because of of girl privacy or whatever. He think the mom should do that, and he say I only do.
Man, that
the
baby
son.
ain't gonna remember that diaper being changed.
But he just weird like that. He like literally.
Oh my gosh.
He won't change the diaper for some reason. But
The better question is, why has your diaper changing decreased throughout each kid?
I mean, you got a nanny. Like
he got money.
That's there it is.
you ask, don't ask.
No,
questions
I mean
you don't
that's
have the answers
I
to.
was curious. I'm like, oh, well,
Yeah, you got the nanny, and then obviously wifey. You know, they take charge of that at this point.
maybe someday,
Man.
man.
I'm
You
letting
know?
Paul answer all these questions.
Facts.
Trey, I need some help from you.
What you need?
I need some help, man. Because these brothers, they would help me, but I already know what they're gonna say because they got dogs. Okay, they got 2 dogs. He got one he named after TV shows and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Ghost
saying?
and Canaan.
And
Us.
and I've been thinking lately if I want to get me a dog or a cat, but my boys is like you a man, so you got to get you a dog. But I'm like, dogs be stinking and farting, and they don't be, they rude. You know what I'm saying? And cats, to me, I'm kind of scared of them sometimes. You know, because, I understand when people got cats or and all that type of stuff in the house, you know what I'm saying? Because they might have a little mice or something, my friends in New York.
Yep.
And I used to be like, damn, I understand that. But
It's a long ass question.
can I get to mine? Can I get to mine?
My bad.
I mean, he bothered me, ain't he? See what I'm saying? They be hating. They go 3 hours when they bring one in. And then when I do it, But to make my question finish, man, I heard you just got you a cat.
Yeah.
And I want to know, what was your reason for picking a cat instead of a dog?
That's what you wanted to ask.
That's a great question.
Always in New York, they got mouths, so I get
You
it.
ain't shit.
That was good though.
Trey, don't worry
liked
about
it,
them,
Jackie.
man.
That
I'm
was
trying to-
great.
You see, I'm trying to throw them in my intro and give them a little love.
Love.
Fuck y'all on the next intro.
He's
Go
got a
ahead,
stupid
Trey.
dog named TV show.
But no, so
Oh man.
I've been that's a great question.
Thank
first
you.
off.
Thank you.
But so I've always been a dog person, right? So I got 2 dogs. I got 2 Frenchies,
Okay.
and one's Normie, Atlanta, after Norman, Oklahoma, and Atlanta. Atlanta, obviously. And then, so my girl, she's grown up having cats and stuff. So I've never been a cat person a day in my life. So we went to this cat place, not to give you a long answer, but we went to this cat place and this cat woman had a lot of cats in her house and I don't like cats. So I went in the house and I'm like, nah, we leaving. So we left. And I gave it another day. She was upset because I was like, we're not getting a cat. And then she was like, what if I have them bring them over and stuff? And they don't usually do that, but they knew who it was. So, and this is a different type of cat. This is like a Bengal cat, like a white, like looking tiger. And I mean, you always, as a kid, want to have like an exotic pet. So it kind of looked like it. So
I know. I'm just.
but anyway, so to make a long story short, this cat chose me. So I mess with it. It stays. It's my only cat I really like. So
What's the name? Ice Trae?
it's Cali.
Cali?
Cali, because I live out in Cali. So
Okay.
Norman, Oklahoma.
You know, you can't say that because then people they gonna take that out of like,
Look at this.
He got a cat because he got a dog from Oklahoma because he's from Oklahoma. He's got a dog because he's in Atlanta.
For sure.
Oh,
but
he's got a cat. Is he coming to LA? Is he coming?
best
Like,
thing I like-
they gonna run with that.
that's
The
part of
best
it,
thing
bro,
I like
you know?
about cats, you can leave them at the house by themselves.
Yeah, what do you do with a cat? Like,
I don't know.
we just got
it just
it.
follow you?
I don't know. It jumps into like literally it randomly jumped from the top of my bed that I didn't even know it could jump that high, and it jumped on my shoulder one day, and it's like, but we have little towers in the house like that it just lays at, and or she just chills. Like you don't have to has a litter box, so you don't have to worry about it going to the bathroom on the floor. It's way easier taken care of than dogs.
Yeah.
So.
What about the Frenchies though? Because Frenchies are
That's
kind of
what-
notoriously known for being a little crazy. So
Yeah.
has there been some scraps going on in the crib?
For
Or
sure, I had to send him away for the first week.
the cat?
Yeah, no, the dogs, just so I could let the cat get adjusted to the house and stuff. So, because
That's
I had,
cold.
I had two Frenchies, they bullies, and so when they got back, I mean, they were trying to claim their territory again, but they cool now. It's 2 weeks now, so
they all homies. That's love then.
Yeah.
It's a good story right there.
Glad we went over all that.
yeah,
you know, hey,
great cat and dog
Great
story.
question, Bunky.
Thank you.
Great question.
So should I get a cat or a dog?
You should get a dog first.
Say no
Come
more.
on, bro.
That's what I'm gonna get. Get a Frenchie.
What would you name it?
My dog?
Yeah.
Bunky.
Bunky. I like that. Indubitably.
You know he gonna be Bunky. Bunk, come here, bunk. Yeah, boy. You know that.
All right, man. This next segment of the show is called The Connect, sponsored by AT&T. Stay connected to what matters most with AT&T. We got to talk about, obviously, DeJounte going to New Orleans, but at the time, it was a big trade sending him to Atlanta. And I know what it's like, that pressure of being the lone star on a team. And, you know, the initial trade, I'm sure you was excited to get the help of DeJounte. But short stint, y'all played 2 years together. Talk to us a little bit about, like, that time spent together, you guys on the court, and just the bond and chemistry y'all created.
I mean, I think it was, to be honest, it was a great, I mean, it was good and bad. You know what I'm saying? It was the only bad part is we didn't get to win as much as we wanted to. To be honest with you, like the good part is like we have a lifelong relationship. Like our relationship goes outside of basketball. Like we're both family men. Our morals are very much similar as far as who we have around us, what we try to do with our everyday lifestyle, everything. We try to do everything for others and things like that. Like the way we get along off the court is forever. That's why our relationship is forever. But on the court it's just tough because we wanted to win, but it's just sometimes like we're not the first duo that couldn't work, and we're not gonna be the last. So it's just 2 point guards, and obviously when the time happened, I was overly excited. Like I was the first person that called when I think before the news even broke. Like, but I knew it was final and things like that. But I was super excited because I knew I had somebody that could come in and help me, or I knew a really good player. And but it just didn't work out on the court, and it sucks. It sucks, and we both admit it sucks, and that's just part of the game. If it doesn't work, teams have to figure out what to do next and make moves.
Right. Initially though, like when he got there, was it just like, did you notice it right away? Like, oh yeah, I'm loving this. Like, he gets to handle the ball a little bit, take a little pressure off me. Like, I can spot up sometimes.
Yeah, I think it was tough because we're both very unselfish in ways. So it's like there were times early where I'm passing it to him, and he wants to be aggressive, but he's a point guard too. So he's not, you know what I'm saying, thinking score first all the time. But when I'm on the court, sometimes he's a shooting guard, but sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the combination just kind of just didn't work. And on paper, you may think it would because in San Antonio, he's a really good defender, known as just a defender. Wasn't really known as a scorer, but just defender, can kind of do everything, rebound, score, but get other guys involved. But when he came to us, it's like a real, it's just a different feel. And so, it just sucks it didn't work. But
in June, the Hawks ended up getting the #1 draft pick in Zaccharie Risacher. Have you had an opportunity to speak with them or maybe even do some workouts together yet?
I spoke with him. A lot of people were talking about how I didn't tweet about him or stuff on draft day and things like that. I've always done that and stuff. But like, I messaged him like behind the scenes right before Summer League and just shot him some good luck, just stuff like that, and just stuff that I don't even care for people to know, but obviously they're gonna know now. But I talked about him. I talked to him a little bit behind the scene. We ain't got to work out yet, but because he played right before Summer League too, in his overseas. So
yeah,
very cool.
I don't know much about him though. Like, I haven't seen any like real highlights to kind of compare or see what his game is like or how he translates and fits with you guys. You know what I mean? When they made it, like, because it felt like for the longest, you heard of Alex R, you heard of
Reed Shepherd.
He
was killing, bro.
You heard about, like, you know what I mean? It was a group of guys in that 1 through 5, and I may be ignorant to it. Zach could have been in that list for a long time.
Yeah.
But to me, it was like out of the blue, his name, especially to come and be the first pick.
Yeah.
Like, how do you see him fitting with what y'all doing in Atlanta?
Yeah, to be honest with you, and no disrespect to the guys that got drafted, from the outlook looking in, and some guys may surprise us, but a lot of us look at them as role players coming in anyway. We didn't like the last 3 #1 picks. You got Victor, you got like Ant Edwards, you got some big time names. None of these guys, whether it was Reed, who's gonna be a hell of an NBA player, or Alex, who didn't play well in Summer League, but who's gonna be a hell of an NBA player, but a lot of these guys could be just role players. And so you're really just trying to, I feel like the GMs all this year are probably just trying to figure out who's going to be the best role player for
their team.
It's not like they're drafting somebody to be as good as Alex Sarr is. I don't think he's going to be their franchise player going forward. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be a great player, has a long NBA career, but just the outlook on any of these guys coming in, it wasn't like they were going to be Lukas or, you know what I'm saying, type guys, you know what I'm saying, Zions. So,
well, Trae, you've been this is what, your 6th season in the league now. And since you've been in the league, you've been having a lot of changes to your team at least every damn season. There's been a lot of ups and downs. First, the trade with DJ, then y'all got the first draft pick, then, you on your off-court injuries or whatever. If you was to take a glimpse into the future for the next 6 seasons, how you want to see it, baby?
Yeah, I just want to give back to winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, winning, like, P knows that, winning takes care of everything. Like, just, from off the court to how people look at you, like, it changes everything. Like, I feel like that's a big reason why, you correct me if I'm wrong, why you chose Philly over a lot of other situations, because you have a chance to go over there and win. But I feel like that's just what I want to get to, and whatever that is and whatever that looks like, that's just what I'm going to get back to is, whether it's getting back to the conference finals or pushing forward. Like, when you get to that conference finals, it's like you trying to get further. Like, it's like an adrenaline rush getting into the playoffs. And so I'm just trying to get back to that and go further. So whatever that looks like, that's what I'm going to get back to. You
mentioned me going to Philly, right? And for me, it's an unbelievable experience, right? Unbelievable opportunity, I should say, playing with one of the best young point guards and one of the best centers that our game has. For you, what is, like, if you could pick, or if it's a player out there that you think complements you the best, who would that player be that you'd be like, you know what? I would love to play with him.
You know what's crazy? Is I feel like I feel like, to be honest with you, I can make anybody better. Like just the way I play, the way I draw another person defender.
Yep.
I'd rather get an assist than a bucket. And I can do both. That's what's scary is just that's the thing. It's just the outlook and the image of me, or maybe just having a couple years not being as far as we were, the image can just change. And so for me, it's not one player. Like I feel like there's a lot of stars, there's a lot of players that if they play with me, their outlook of me would be a lot different, and their game would be even better, and our team would be better. It's just you got to get that opportunity.
All right, that was
like that.
Yeah.
That was a safe answer.
Yeah. I'm wondering who would you like to see him play with? Like when you're, because that was his answer.
Yeah. I don't know. You can go one or two ways, right? Like I think what unlocks your game so much is having like a dynamic big, right? Like because you shoot the ball so well, you space the floor out so much, you put so much attention on teams in the pick and roll. Like, so it has to be a center that's dominant, creates, and demands opportunity as well. Like if you was with a type like, and I know I could say this about pretty much anybody that plays with like a Joker or a Joel, like someone that opens the game up for you. But I like someone on that scale, like even say you had like a Nick Claxton. Like I know you played with Clint Capella.
Yeah.
But like even like a Clint Nick Claxton. Dynamic roller, locks up, controls the paint.
Great screen setter.
Like, and for you, I feel like that's all. Like, you can play shooters around you at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's how I see.
What
Like,
about AD?
But that's the thing.
Even
that works.
AD makes everybody better as well around him.
Come on over to Cali.
But that's for sure. But that's
Ain't that your cat name, Kelly? Come on over to Kelly.
I hear you. But that's the thing. Like that's the part of my game that like I feel like I've played with Clint. I've played with. Dwayne Dedman. Like he's not. Like he's a little bit older now, but like. I was hitting him for pick and pops. Like my rookie year and second year, I'm averaging 8-9 assists with Alex Lynn picking and popping and short rolling with little hook. Like they don't have to be a dynamic, but then I also have a John Collins who's catching lobs. I have a Kevin Herter with bogey shooting threes. Like I can really any type of player. Obviously like we all have deficiencies. So like I'm smaller, so obviously a bigger guard, obviously bigger players would obviously make the game easier for me and everybody else too. So
yeah. It's so fucking hard to guard you in pick and roll, bro. When you got the whole floor space with shooters, and then like you can't switch. You know what I mean? There's no switching because it's a point guard on you, and he can't match up with a center that's rolling. So like it's low man has to pull in, like you know what I mean. And so now the corner's open.
As he's pulling in, I'm hitting the corner.
Yeah. So it's that. I mean, it's really like. It's really easy when you think about it. Like, and maybe Zach, I'm not great with his
Zaccharie
Risacher.
There we go. I said it right.
You did say it right.
Yeah.
And maybe Zach could be that complimentary piece.
And I, to be honest with you, I see that in his game. Like he's taller in person.
He's got size.
Like he's 6'10" with frame. Like he's a defender. Like he doesn't have to do much. You can knock down open shots, get stops. We're gonna have a taller team. With him on the wing, like Dyson Daniels. That's a bigger, taller guard, but he plays defense. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw him playing for Australia, picking up 94. Like
yeah, he had a great show.
When you have guys picking up and like have a defensive highlights like a Lou Dort, when you have those type of guys on your team, like. And Dyson Daniels, like you know who he is because you play against him and he's guarded, but not a lot of people necessarily know who he is. But I feel like he's gonna have a really good year too.
Really good year with you, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you talked about it, right? Guys that can get you specifically extra possessions, right? You need those guys that can, because you're gonna put pressure on the team, you're gonna put points up, like so you need like give me more possessions. I'll take them. Give me extra possessions. I'm with you on that. I like that.
Jackie mentioned earlier that you recently recovered from your first injury that required surgery, and P's had a few injuries that have required surgery, and we've watched him from a friend perspective go through that rehab process. But what was it like for you going through rehab? And I believe you ended up coming back towards the end of the season with like 3 games left. What was your rehab like?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I mean, it was my first one, obviously, and like I was out. Like I'm still doing rehab, and I mean, Jack, you can kind of look. You see my knuckles? You see that? You see my pinky knuckles? Yeah, it's not. Yeah, so I'm still working on it right now. Like, but I came back like with like 3 games left to try to get ready right before the play-in to maybe try to sneak in the play-in and sneak out of it and get into the playoffs. But yeah, I've had to play with a brace, so I haven't really played fives. I played one little run up and down the other day and some fives, but without the brace. So I'm trying to get my hand right, but it's still rehabbing and doing stuff now with it.
Yeah. What exactly happened?
So I just went for a steal across court, and I just went down, and I felt like you jam your finger. Like I'm like I can't even pop my finger like I used to on my pinky still. Like I'm still.
Shit, huh?
Yeah, you could probably see.
Look at it.
You see my.
Yeah, no, it's flatter
One
for
is
sure.
flat and the other one's sticking out.
So
Yeah,
it's like it's still rehabbing and doing that every day, like getting it right.
You would hate that injury, P, because you'd be on his controller like, gosh.
Yeah, I'm not a gamer like you, so
Okay, so you straight.
I'm straight right now.
I'll be playing like this. Fuck it.
Yeah, look,
You need a custom controller made, brother.
Need a brace for my shit.
gonna make it work.
He's not lying neither.
I'm not. Oh man, hey, that was the Connect. Stay close to the action with AT&T at home or on the go. AT&T keeps you connected to the game you love. We'll be back right after this break. All right, so we gotta ask, when you was drafted, the idea was for you to be the Steph Curry prototype, right? Reflecting on those first comparisons amongst yourself, obviously Steph. Talk to us a little bit about like how did that feel? Was it pressure coming in because of the comparison to Steph? And because, you know, y'all games are similar. The way y'all can shoot the ball and stretch the floor and play make and create, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, play under the rim and still be able to finish and make magic. So, you know, talk to us a little bit about like that pressure of just the comparison to Steph.
Yeah, that really all started in college. Obviously, like after my first 4 or 5 games, we played in that field night tournament, had a really good showing, and then we were on ESPN every day, and I swear that's all they was pushing was the next Steph Curry, like this, and they was just blowing it up, and it was every day, every on talk shows, everything in college, and it just, I mean, I never paid too much attention to it. I never was like, yeah, I'm about to be the next Steph.
Right.
Like, no, like I was always felt like I took a little bit from everybody's game. My favorite player was Steve Nash growing up, and like he's led the league in assists multiple years. I mean, and unfortunately, he's also led the league in turnovers, which I've done in a couple of years too. So, but that's like I take pieces from a lot of players, and so like that's why I feel like me and Steph, we have some similarities, yeah. But I mean, I also get 10 assists a game. Like I also love getting everybody. He can probably score a few more points than me, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather get everybody involved and things like that. So there's some things about our games that's different, and so now I just always try to use that as like a way to, whenever I get to a certain level, that the next high school player, they're getting compared to Trae. It ain't.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like they getting compared to me now. So that's how I kind of use it as kind of motivation too.
Yeah, because I'm sure Steph had to catch wind of like, oh, there's another version of me coming into this league. I'm sure he had to get wind of that. Because, I mean, you was, the talk coming out of college.
He said something that when I was in college too, that just made it even more. It was like middle of Big 12. Like I was in the middle of my high too. And we were like top 5 in the country. And he had said something like, he's so electrifying every time you watch him. And so like, obviously they gonna.
They run
over right then and there.
They're gonna run it. They're gonna run it even more. So
has he built a relationship with you since you've been in the league or coming into the league?
For sure.
Did he try to take you under his wing?
Yeah, for sure. And I've worked out with his trainer, Brandon Payne, like over the years since I've been in the league. And I don't remember if it was coming into the draft when I first met Brandon, or after my rookie year, but we've been knowing each other for 5-6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember Steph hit me after like he don't always hit me. Like he knows like we always. I mean, every now and then he'll tap in or touch base and things like that. But I remember the first time I ever was on the trade block, and it was like right before a playing game, and I think it was 2 years ago. And that was like he texted me just telling me to stay focused and keep my head going and things like that. So he'll drop some knowledge and give me some advice and things like that every now and then, like as a supporter. So he's always been helpful.
Okay,
That's cool.
because this is the first time we've heard of someone that's worked with a Steph trainer, right? So who's the trainer?
Brandon Payne.
He's a basketball trainer?
Yeah. The big dude, you always see him with him.
Okay, because we've heard the stories of like people that worked out with Steph and Steph pretty much gassing them out.
Oh yeah.
Like is these workouts insane?
Oh, it's insane, bro. It's insane from the beginning to end. Like it's conditioning and Steph, Steph does at a different level now. He got his heart rate monitor, so he got his people
tracking.
Yeah, that's the next level, high level shit. That players don't.
Because that's what players like. People in the league see him and his greatness, but like they don't understand how tough it is to guard Steph because he does not stop moving.
Like even like no, we can talk about little things. Like even little things like when he's walking a player down and he has some strength to him too. Like he'll bump you and like use some little tricks and get you off, and it's a little space that he needs, and he'll get some shots off.
Have you ever like done a weight workout? Because not only is he obviously well conditioned, but like you
his
said,
legs are strong
he's
as
known for like I think he deadlifts like 400, like something ridiculous that you would never guess. Like,
yeah. His strength trainer, they all be there. So we do stuff before and then get on the court.
Yeah,
and then
we got to get to the bottom of like who's that player is that like. Because the story is some dude or some player.
Some dude was throwing up or something.
Yeah. Do you know who this player is?
I don't know who that player is.
We got to find out who this player is. Some player couldn't finish a workout with Steph.
It's probably more than one.
I'm very nosy. I ain't got into that yet. I got to do my research.
I ain't got into that.
Yet. Trae, do you got homeboys that's not in the league that's in their 40s that play ball though, but they good?
Do I got homeboys?
Yeah, like you got some homeboys that's like in their 40s, but they good in basketball.
Like 40 what?
But
Let's
they don't
be a
play.
little more specific.
42.
42?
Yeah, do you got homeboys that's like good at like 42?
Nah.
You got none? Okay, so I guess I'm on that same list.
Unless you talking about yourself, you 42?
Yeah. I was just saying because they think I don't got game, and I was gonna ask you, do you think I got game?
Oh yeah.
And you was to look at me and like see and know because I really got game, and they think I don't got game.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of game you talking?
Talking about basketball.
Basketball?
Yeah, basketball.
I mean, I think you got game. I mean,
see, I like that, but
you don't have to lie.
Yeah, I mean, I always.
You gotta understand. You can make anybody better.
The podcast.
This is a lot of work.
They always try to compare me and this guy. They always try to compare me and this guy to raise to do this, and I tell him every time, literally. He think because he plays in a church league. He think he good. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I'm going to say this for another day. But I'm just going to go. I'm saying all this to say, man, you hold the Atlanta Hawks franchise record for assists.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to ask you, do you think you unfairly get portrayed as a selfish player?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I was talking about earlier. I definitely get portrayed, I mean, or just looked at like that. But I mean, I don't think everybody, like, I feel like if you know me and players who play with me, like, will vouch for me, like, they know I'm not a selfish player, like, and it's just, I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, bro. It's just.
Because you did say it earlier, you'd rather pass than shoot.
Yeah. I mean, I've said that since coming in the draft, too. It's not just today. So, I mean, I don't know what it is, but it'll be fixed. It'll be changed eventually. I believe winning takes care of everything, and once I get back on that track again, it'll change again. So when nobody's saying this, when we was winning in the playoffs, going to the conference finals, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I've noticed, man? They love to talk like, because I don't know where the hate comes from with me. You know what I mean? Like, it's dudes I played with, it's dudes that I busted their ass while we played, like, and somehow it's a lot of shit talking going on, like, and I don't know where it comes from with me either. Like, so I don't know where the hate for you came from. You know what I mean? Like, just around the league, constantly 25 plus, 30 plus, 10 assists plus, and left off of all-star nods. And it's like, where is this coming from?
By coaches that I'm doing it to. You know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, like there should be an appreciation at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta respect and give credit where credit is due. When, like, I'm sure at the end of the day they don't want to see you go for 40 and 10, but at the same time, it's like, damn, we did everything we could to prevent this shit, and it still happened.
Y'all doubling me the whole game. Yeah, we're not playing on ESPN or TNT every night where y'all are seeing that. I'm getting doubled like before half court sometimes just to get it out of my hands, and then they're face guarding me. So it's like it's just people reading stats and people reading what other people are saying on Twitter, and we have a bad game.
It's corny, man. I believe it's some bullshit gatekeeping. For real, man. It's some bullshit gatekeeping going on, but that's for another story.
That's for another story.
No, touch on it a little bit. No, I'm just
That's for another story.
Trae, what about, do you ever feel like in the landscape of the NBA, do you feel underrated at this point in your career? Like, do you think people look kind of overlooky sometimes?
Man, to be honest, I've stopped worrying about, it's hard to like, cause yes and no, cause I'll run into people and it seemed like, people show me a lot of love. Like, as much as people think that I get a lot of hate and a lot of stuff like that, like I get a lot of love too, even in New York. Like I'll walk around, I'll go to a restaurant and people like show me love. So it's like, I don't really, to be honest, I stopped worrying about how many people or what the narrative was or what people don't like about me or things like that. Like I really genuinely focus on the people that like, that really care about me or really know who I am and really are supporting me and things like that. So I don't really think about if I'm underrated or not. Like I know at the end of my career, when that's all said and done, they'll be able to line it up and hopefully you got some championships there, and then everything else will be thrown out there. All them 30 and 10s that people choose to say is bad or whatever, like it would be good whenever I start winning some championships or I win some more games. So that's what it is.
What's it been like for you when I look at, guys trying to make it to the league? You're looking at all these athletes. I remember when Paul was in high school, he was like 6'3". Next time I saw him, he was like 6'8". They're looking for tall, athletic basketball players. And you've been an undersized guard your whole career, and you've done well at every level. But what was it like being a smaller guard heading into the NBA, and what did you find was the toughest challenge that you had being a smaller guard, adapting to the NBA?
Yeah, I feel like for me coming into the league, I came in at the right time. Like Steph had just won a couple of championships, so then when a smaller guard is winning championships, the outlook is way different. And even Kyrie was on them teams that were with Braun going to the finals, and he's a smaller guard. So, as small as people think I am, I'm those guys' height. Like, so I'm maybe an inch shorter than Steph, but so I'm not the smallest guy, but like those guys did it and they won. So like it kind of made it easier for maybe somebody to look at me and feel like they can do it, or I can come in and be a winning point guard at this size, and I felt like I could do it. So, and I still feel like that. So I think those guys kind of made it where it kind of looked like you can do it.
Was there any like technique growing up? Because you hear it all the time. There's super talented basketball players, and it's like, but he's not tall enough. Like that's like a lot of people's knock. Like he's great in high school, he's great in college, but there's no way he's going to be able to go translate this into the NBA because it's a whole other level of athletes there. But growing up, I'm sure you had that on the top of your mind. Like, what were some of the things that you felt that you had to be excellent at in order to be capable of letting your game translate to the NBA?
Yeah, so for me, like I was always a good shooter. Like I was always a good shooter. I was usually, it's crazy because I was on the wing growing up. Like before 10th grade is when I moved over to being a point guard.
Really?
Because I wasn't comfortable in my handle. Like I told this story before. Like I went to the Bahamas. Nike had sent a whole bunch of top players in high school out to the Bahamas, and I was going against Fox back then, and it was just me. I was top in my class, and Fox was there, and I couldn't get cross half court. Like, it was, and of course, fucking Gary Payton is my coach, and he's yelling at Malik Monts, come get the ball, like, come get it from Trae. Like, he can't dribble. And this is like my junior year, like about to go into my junior year. And so I was like, I mean, that's when I started really working on my handle. So like my shot has always been able to I was always just scooting further and further back. So I've always been able to shoot. So working on my handle is whenever I knew I could be better. And I was like, after that weekend, I was working on my handle even more. And so it was, I've been able to be a really good ball handler and be able to create space. That was something I needed to have. And so I needed to have a handle.
That's crazy. I would have never, ever guessed. Like, that's a hope to a lot of kids out there.
Yeah, no,
like you weren't ball handling your whole life. You just started working on your.
Because usually it's the other way around, right?
like,
smaller guard, like that's all they work on is their handle, and then they learn how to shoot.
He was a spot up shooter. That's it.
Spot up shooter. And guys were getting taller, like you said. They were shooting from 6'3" to 6'6", and I'm still at 5'10", 5'11", and I'm just having to scoot my range further back. So I was, instead of being close to the line, I'm scooting further and shooting from the volleyball. So that's why that was always there, and I just needed to work on my handle.
The handle part was.
Now you ever do that float?
Yep.
What you be doing?
It came together.
I can't do that float.
So where did the point guard?
Don't rat yourself out right now, Jackie.
I'm not. I'm good.
When did you get comfortable with just, because you talked about the ball handling being the last part kind of to come to your game. When did you get comfortable with just playmaking and having the ball in your hands and being able to dissect and read the defense? Like, when did that part come into, because you moved over to point guard late in your high school.
Yeah. So it was whenever I went from pro skills to MoCan, when I was in a great AAU team out of Kansas City, played with Michael Porter, who was the #1 player in my class.
Okay.
And my AAU coach was just drilling into me on trying to make me one of the top 5 PGs in my class. And I knew if I was a top 5 PG, I'm a highly rated player. I'm a 5-star probably. And we ended up making that happen. And I listened to him, and he really taught me how just to be a point guard. We had a playbook. Like, I'm sure we're one of the few AAU teams that had a playbook. We had 114 plays from offensive,
114.
From offensive plays, the sideline out of bounds, the baseline out of bounds, everything. So like I was really able to so a lot of players from Willie Cauley-Stein, a lot of players that went to college, like they're ready to play because we having Saturdays, three a day. We having an offensive, a defensive practice, and then coming back and just scripting through some offensive plays. Like, we having real college type days. And so that's when I really became more comfortable, probably going over my junior year to MoCan and playing with guys like Michael Porter and playing with some really good players and playing at a high level.
Speaking of Michael Porter, tell me how it was before playing with him before the back injuries. Remember, he had the back injuries, and you was alongside. He was #1 in the nation.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about him.
Yeah, I was at the practice that he hurt his back. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah, I was at the practice. He hurt his back, and it was shit. We talked about it. I was with him a week ago. And we still talk about that. Like, the difference in his game. He would have been he would have been another PG. Like, he's so offensively skilled, and he's just so smooth with his game. And I mean, defensively, he's tall, he's long, so he's gonna be a good defender if you just put in effort. And so he was a really good defender in high school, but he could have been even a better defender at this level if his back wasn't so stiff and he having screws and things messed up in his back. Like, so I feel like it's just unfortunate. He would have been a really, really high level player, and but thankfully, he's still made a good career so far.
Yeah, MPJ, man. I used to watch his highlights. Like, god damn,
that jump shot.
He can hoop. Like,
shooting over you. Yeah, bounce.
Yeah, and it just it just give credit to the hoopers that come out of Washington. You know what I mean? Like, they got a hotbed up there.
Oh yeah.
But I want to talk about. I had one of my favorite and probably one of the best fan moments actually playing in Atlanta when we played you guys. Maybe like 2 years
what
ago.
happened?
Yeah.
It was a section that was behind us, behind our bench, because you know in y'all arena, like the fans, they sit right behind the bench, right? So it was a group of maybe like, I don't know, and I talked about this in an episode before, but it was a group of maybe like, I don't know, 6 or 7, maybe more. They started coming out of nowhere at some point.
Yeah.
But it was initially like 6 or 7 of them there, and they was just going crazy, right? We score, you know, we make a basket, they hype, they turned up, like they was really into the game. And then Reggie was on the team at the time, and Reggie feeds into the fans. He loves that, like, and so Reg is getting, you know, dancing, and he, you know, music playing, and he getting turned up. So they was having a blast with us. So that was like my experience and one of my favorite experiences with fan engagement. But for you see that all the time playing in Atlanta, right? Like with, you know, you got 2 Chainz there, Boosie there, DC Young Fly there, you know what I mean? And they come and show out for their city. For you playing in that arena, what was one of the most memorable moments playing in Atlanta in front of that home crowd?
Man, every night is crazy. Like, obviously we have a club at the bottom of right by our bench. We have a club that people just lounge.
Is that the open?
The little open area, yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bar club area that people just get like cheap tickets and just go and stand over there. And
Did Lou tell us
be
that?
crazy.
Did Lou tell us about that?
I don't know.
He didn't.
Probably.
He might have.
Probably. I mean, Lou was right
Because
there.
it's standing. They can
stand the whole
there too.
time.
Yeah.
They
Nah, it'd be
there.
turned right there. It
Nah.
would definitely be turned right there.
But no, it was, I mean, besides, I'm not any playoff games, besides the playoff game, like probably my first 50-point game, it was on Quavo night. And I'll never forget, I gave Quavo my jersey, and everybody after the game was like, man, that's your first 50 ball. Like, why you give him your jersey? Why you give him your jersey? But I knew I was, God willing, gonna get another one, and it was his night in the arena, and he had everything, hats and everything, bobblehead.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me go ahead and give him this. But that was a lit night in Atlanta, and we got the win. I forgot who we played. I think we played the Heat, but it was a great day.
Quavo,
that's
we
lit.
need that jersey back. We need to collect that.
So obviously you enjoy playing Atlanta. Where else? Where else? When you traveling, you on the road, and you looking forward to playing. We know about the history with you in New York.
Yeah.
Right? Is the Garden, is that your favorite arena to hoop in outside of Atlanta?
Man, it's not just one. That's definitely up there for
Yeah.
sure. You know that feeling. You walk in that gym be buzzing too. Like,
Right.
I mean, they play that piano. It's crazy. So, yeah, that place is fun. That place is always fun to play. I love going back to like the Texas cities too, because I'm from Texas, from Oklahoma City, so it's close, and I like going back home and playing. Like I love playing in every gym, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like it's not just one, but New York for sure. LA out here is fun too. If I had to name a couple spots.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not the Clippers, but the other LA team, bro.
Hey, you gonna love the new arena.
I
new arena's
I
crazy.
seen it. I seen some pictures from Lou, but those
the
that
new
arena
arena's-
look crazy.
I can't wait to. I'll probably be booed in there.
Yeah, you ain't
I'm excited to be booed in there.
you ain't gonna get the best.
It'll be fun though. It'll be fun to see that like packed out.
Definitely go boy.
And you know, for me being a Clipper, obviously just seeing like actual, because the rationale behind it is Steve wanted an actual place for Clippers fans to pack out. So it'll be dope to see that thing filled up with actual Clippers fans. But my animosity that I'll probably receive from Clipper Nation, if so, you get that animosity with Knicks fans with the F Trae Young. You still find like that funny to you, or
Oh, super funny. That shit is hilarious. Like
Fuck Trae.
I've never seen like I'll never forget like this young little girl, like
Oh gosh.
10, maybe if I had to guess, maybe 10 to 12, like just giving me the finger, like right behind the scores table. And I'm looking at her dad, like I don't say nothing to her. I just look at the dad and I'm like, that's cool. Like,
yeah.
like there's a lot of photos of me looking in the crowd, just smiling and things like that's like kind of my reactions. I'm just looking at the reactions of like all these people just flipping me off. I'm like, literally 10 minutes into game one, like 10 minutes left in the first quarter with game one. Like, I ain't do nothing. And that's just,
that's
That's
mental.
how it started.
That's mind games you got over there.
Man, I think it just comes with the game, bro. You
They
just
be like, Trae coming. Who? Trae.
they be having the most fun outside too with them little skits they be having. The New York people, it's funny.
You had recently tweeted about Kevin Durant being the Olympic GOAT, and we did a little bit of research about your history with Team USA and found out that you were a finalist for the 2020 team and made it to the top 41 for the current Olympic team. And we're taping today after an amazing game. USA came back from Serbia. I don't know if you guys got to
Man,
a
I
chance
watched
to watch that. But when you look ahead and see the Olympics being in LA in 2028, is that something that you're kind of eyeballing to be a part of, and would you be interested?
I mean, I got a house here, of course.
Cat
Got a
named
cat.
Cali, like
Yeah.
the Olympics in 2028, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, nothing is given. It's everything is earned. So we got a couple years that it's just going to have to be earned. And obviously USA has a lot of talent. We have a lot of players that could be a part of it. But of course I want to. But we'll see. I definitely will. It ain't up to me, but if it was, I would definitely want to.
Did you guys both watch the game today?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had a
absolutely.
little in the group chat. I'm just curious on your guys' opinions because it was a tough, basically it was like, who won that game for them today? They all played great. But if you're,
Who won that game for them?
which
Bron.
play?
Bron. Absolutely.
Okay.
Y'all
Absolutely, Bron won that game for them.
I'm asking opinion.
And you know what, man?
With a
I
little
think,
sauce of Steph.
See, I think he's got a different answer.
Yeah, I'm going to let P go.
Yeah.
No, listen
Love
though.
this.
Listen though. And I'm not taking no credit away from what Steph did, right? They all, like, when you talk about the big three, that's the head of our USA team, and KD, Bron, and Steph, right? They all played major roles in every part of that game. What Steph, his 34, 36, if he doesn't do that, we lose. You know what I mean? So, like, everybody, I'm not saying Steph wasn't a big factor in that game either, nor was KD. I'm not saying KD wasn't, but Bron, like, I think Bron took it as the initiative of, like, we not losing this game. Like, Steph, I need you to do you, right? I'm gonna get you to rock. We gonna KD had his moments of, like, all right, like, I'm gonna put this motherfucker away. I thought what Bron did with his downhill attacks late in the game, him just managing the game, right? When he was coming back, game was close. You saw you saw him getting steam, right? The downhill attacks in transition, finishing at the rim. Like, you saw Bron, like,
Yeah. No.
so I don't know. And then the moments of him wanting that matchup with Joker. Like, he was doing everything he could to try to get guys to rotate so he can take Joker. I don't know. I just saw Bron.
You gotta say Trae.
What's your take?
Let's let the guest answer.
No,
What's your take? What's your
You gotta
take?
say Trae.
I think you made great points, but if you look at Steph had 36, but he also had 8 rebounds. He also had 9 assists. Like, he did literally everything. I mean, Bron had a quiet triple-double, and he also, like, managed the game at the end, and he made some loud moments at the end. But if Steph didn't have 17 in the first quarter, they would have been down 20 plus. And I feel like we focused at that last part, that later in the game, but it was a 4-quarter game, and Steph started it out, and I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't like Bron was just clamping Jokic. I know he took the initiative.
It's Joker though, like,
But no, for sure.
you
But
know
like,
what I mean?
I know, and
didn't
I mean,
think
it's
about
not
that.
like I'm saying Bron didn't kill today. Like, a big reason why they came back and won too. But I feel like
Yeah,
today,
it's
if they didn't have Steph today,
He was cooking today.
Absolutely.
Whether with Bron
I'm,
and Embiid.
and I'm not
Seasoning.
saying, and I'm glad you brought Joel
Yeah,
up.
I know
'cause-
Aaron's over there like,
And I was
why aren't you saying
about to say
Joel
Joel
Embiid?
too.
Yeah, I'm glad you,
Joel
because
quietly was balling today.
when we had this question, Joel was in that part of my answer as well. I'm glad you brought him up because I forgot about Joel
You're
as
welcome,
well.
man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because Joel also, if Joel didn't go and get some of those baskets and some of those blocks and challenging Joker at the rim, and if his presence wasn't on that floor either, we lose.
but that's where I put him and Bron on like that 2A, 2B level.
And
because
Steph, the one.
The one, because obviously they both had big moments, Bron and Joel. But Joel had it later in the game. He had some big time defensive plays, like you said. But Steph was doing it the whole game. Even when he had 20 or something at the half or something.
Yeah.
Like, they were you should have saw how they was just guarding. There was a possession. I'm like telling like my homies like, look how they're guarding him. Like he was backdooring. AD gave him he got a little floater and just some easy baskets late. Like he kind of did it all.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Like watching
I didn't know he had 8 rebounds too. That was what it was.
Yeah, no, that's tough. I didn't know, and I was watching the game. I didn't know he had 8 rebounds either. You just see his scoring and the big shots that he made. But like watching the game, bro, like I don't know. I felt cheesy because I was like getting chills and shit. Like
it was awesome.
It was like damn, like it was that moment of like damn, like this is what like I'm proud to be an American. Like you know what I mean? I felt cheesy, like
for sure. I ain't gonna lie. I was saying it was a second, man. My teammate Bogey was hooping, bro. So I was like, damn.
And so my wife is Serbian, right?
Yeah. Oh.
And so we're watching the game, and she's like trash talking me.
Oh man,
at this point I'm trash talking her. Like it was a fun moment in the house. And so, but like, yeah, bro, I was watching that shit like as a proud American. It was an American fight right there.
You didn't think you didn't have no animosity. Like if they lost, like y'all didn't have me. You didn't have none of that.
No, I mean that's
because you supposed to be on that team.
But I did. You know what? But I did like watching that and just the spirit of that of playing for your country. Like I ain't gonna lie, it was like a regret of like, damn, I should have did more to try to make this team. Like I should have, because I got reached out the second time about, man, are you sure you don't want to be on this? Like I was salty. I wasn't picked on the first go around. So
really, Steve Kerr,
I'm cool. And so I did have regrets of like, man, I should have been there. Like that's what you want to play for, that moment.
And you would have been even more mad maybe being over there like JT, like.
I don't get.
The way they got JT.
That I don't get.
Like,
what do you think of all the criticism surrounding Steve Kerr? You know, I'm big on like the Twitter world, and it's a lot of people are thinking today was one of the first, times where he put the best players on the floor.
Yeah,
like it's not that hard to create a lineup out here, dude. Like, just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you kind of think of everything that's surrounding that talk?
No, I mean, I probably don't hear it as much as you do, but I mean, I do hear that. I mean, people killing Steve Kerr, and today they saying he just let him go out there and hoop like it was AAU again.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think that was a good thing that he let him do that today, and hopefully, when you coaching the USA team, you can.
It's a tough job.
I mean,
it's a tough job because in the league,
yes and no, bro.
But in the league, you playing 9 guys.
Yeah, but everybody on the USA
you got 12.
team should know. Like, if you're on the USA team, you should understand. Like, all right, we all NBA stars. Like, we get it. Like, ain't none of us.
Yeah.
If we sit, it ain't like, you know what I'm saying? But we just got to sacrifice to win these games and go.
But JT can't be one of them.
But JT, that's what I don't understand that.
Yeah. How is JT the odd man? No, that's what I don't understand.
First team All NBA maybe?
He had to be.
I think he was first team.
Yeah, first team.
Do he play good defense?
Yeah.
Do he play better defense than his boy that's on the team? That one that's out there.
Listen, I ain't here to.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not here.
I'm saying.
To be fair, he hasn't played the best
players.
No, with his minutes. You know what I mean? I don't know how much that has to do with dealing with everything, because that's got to be annoying. You go out there and this is all they're talking about. You sit out the first game, but with the minutes he's had, it's not like he's been.
You're talking about JT.
Yeah, like it's not like he's been out there.
It's not
spectacular.
the easiest. People think like, oh, because you playing with the best in the world, like.
Right.
It's not the easiest either playing on the Olympic team because there's so many good people and you don't know how to catch a rhythm. Like it's not as easy as people think, like finding rhythm when you're so used to having a ball and creating, you know what I mean? I don't think people understand how it is when you know how to get yourself in the zone, or if you know how to
and you got time
change
to
the
kind of
pace
find
of a
rhythm.
game and you know how to find your rhythm within a game.
No, it's
now
it's short time. Like y'all with each other, like the teams with each other for a short time.
Exactly.
Serbia, they've been working with each other every summer.
Probably 16, 15 years old. They've been playing with.
I want to know when they win the gold, what they gonna say.
Who?
Everybody about Steve Kerr. When he win it,
they won.
Like what
Same thing.
Yeah. You can't say nothing.
Like,
what about the 3-on-3 stuff? Have you guys caught up with any of that? I know they didn't do too well.
I ain't seen
My boy
that.
Jimmer just couldn't get it done.
Jimmer.
Ice Cube called him out. Ice Cube wants the big 3. He offered like $150,000 to the winner of the 3-on-3 Olympics
against the
tournament.
Big Three.
I think it was the Netherlands too that won.
That won it, yeah.
Let's see if they take it. Who in the NBA would you guys like to see out there if there was, some prominent NBA players playing on that 3-on-3 team?
Kai for sure.
Oh yeah.
You
Are we
give
talking
him
about who
that
he
much
won?
space,
Yeah. Kai for
Kai
sure.
for sure.
Well, let me get 3.
Kai. I mean, you need a big, but man, any of them. You put PG, you put
Yeah.
any of y'all, like
Put
put any of the
me.
wings, put any Bron, you put KD, but who would really play?
Right. That'll be because I don't think you'll see like I don't think you'll see like a actual all-star guy playing a 3-on-3.
Like I think a guy like a Nas Reed, like a Jaden McDaniels, like you know what I'm saying, like those type guys, like who may not make a Olympic team, but you still at the Olympics with 3-on-3, but it's better than if you had Nas Reed and Jaden McDaniels with Jimmer. It may have been
It may be a different story. That is true. That is true. But it is. Could someone put their pride aside to represent the country in that way though? That's the question.
That's the thing. Because we don't play
I think
3-on-3 every day.
I think people would go do it. I think they would. I bet they'd.
I think
wonder if
now
they
there.
asked.
I think
Who-
now
who'd
there
they
might
ask?
be a reason to now that we lost. Like
Yeah.
so now it's a hero story for whoever.
Yeah, true.
It's not, yeah.
You know what I
for sure.
mean? It's
Now,
a hero
yeah.
story now.
True.
So I think now it's like, all right, I'll do it.
28 is definitely
I get
gonna
a
be.
gold medal. Like, yeah, it's easy.
Just a little
Think-
3-on-3.
Yeah,
Think about
I might
20
do it.
In
Fuck it.
LA it will be.
I know somebody who would do it. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
He would
LeBron
do
ain't
it.
doing that.
Yeah.
If he's still playing, he'll try to do something just because he LeBron. He like, I'm
He
gonna
not
do
doing
everything
that.
before I get out.
3-on-3 champion.
3-on-3.
Because you just said it's a story now. Oh, let me go be the first to go do it. Then I go.
LeBron don't got to do that.
He don't got to do nothing.
He
Period.
definitely don't gotta do
Shit.
that.
He ain't got to play basketball no more.
That's a different story.
Shit, I'm just
That's a
saying, you ain't got to do
different story.
nothing.
Pete, do you think that NBA players would take it as a slight to be asked to play on that 3-on-3 team instead of the?
I think if it's the guys that met the criteria to play for
Right.
the Olympic team. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're not gonna ask Jaylen Brown to go play the 3-on-3 team, right? But if it's like that group of guys that like, all right, obviously they know they're not gonna make the Olympic team, but they could represent. Like you brought up a Nas Reed, like they could represent the country on this 3-on-3 team. I don't think that should be like a shot or a disrespect. Like that might ultimately like say someone like him that might catapult his, he played for our 3-on-3. Like, all right, let's give him a Olympic team opportunity.
Yeah. But no, I think, no, for sure. And it being in LA next, after us just losing, I feel like there's definitely a time there's
Yeah.
going to be some guys like that
Yeah.
are on the 3-on-3 team.
Because you got to run it up, right? Like we got to win as many gold medals
Yeah.
as we can it being in LA.
For sure.
Like, and it's on our home turf. Like we got to run it up.
Got to.
Like we doing it all.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. Speaking of the international, we gotta talk about the Ice Tray chill celebration that the midfielder from Chelsea, Cole Palmer, accused you of stealing. Who did it first?
He accused me of stealing?
He accused you of stealing his celebration.
I never heard he told me that. Respect.
Go ahead. You're good. You're good.
Respectfully. I don't know.
Cause
I don't know who
where's Chelsea? English? That's in England?
I know I heard he's a pretty good soccer player.
Yeah. I've heard of the name.
Now.
And I've heard of the team.
Ever since he
He's
started
the guy
that
that does
celebration.
this.
Yeah, now.
Too.
I didn't know. I didn't know
I
that
can,
either.
I didn't know that
I can
either.
vividly remember being in my basement with my homie, being like, yo, like just watching games and seeing our favorite players doing that shit. And I was like, we got to come up with something.
Yeah.
And he was like, shit, you Ice Tray, you should be cold. Like,
Yeah.
shit. And I remember hitting a 3 and like, I don't know if it was a game winner or it was a 3. I did it and then shit, I kind of ran with it. I didn't get it from nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because after we had, and I've tried this a couple of times, right? Like I be in the house like,
What am I do?
yeah, like what am I, like I'm trying to figure out shit, make up shit. I'm like, man, this shit ain't me.
Yeah.
Like so when
Call
when
your
you did it,
call your homeboy for it so he can help
when you
him
did
out.
it, did it just feel like, all right, yeah, that's it?
Yeah, it didn't. Yes and no. I was like, Yeah, are you sure? Like, like I don't know. Like, are you sure?
How many times?
Do I keep going? Like,
Do I?
3 times because it's a 3? Like, man, how many?
So I just but yeah, I think I did it, and then I just seen little kids do it, and then it just every time I had a big moment or I hit a 3 to the dagger or something, I was doing it, and then it just in Atlanta things stick. You know what I'm saying? So
speaking of celebrations, man, our boy need help with a celebration because the fans been trying to give him one for years since he been everywhere, and he still don't got a celebration. He got a new number now and all this, and you got yours. Can you please help us out, man?
Man.
I think I'm too old for him now.
No, bro. I just thought of one, bro. You P, right?
Yeah.
You hit a 3, bro, and just throw your P's up, bro. Podcast P. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Don't. I need my copyright though.
Did you just promote us?
That's so they know what that is. That's fire.
Look, you can't go wrong with that.
I'm gonna send the invoice after the first time.
Podcast P.
I'm gonna forget though.
Y'all gonna have some leads with y'all.
You think I'm bullshitting? Like I really be like in the house, like trying, like all right, what is a celebration for me? Like
we all do, bro.
Nothing comes to mind.
It just got
it.
Now when I feel like now if I think of something and try to do it, it's like, all right, I'm trying too hard. At this point. Like, it's not natural no more.
No, bro.
I'm gonna throw it up there.
Yeah. You know what that's called, right?
What?
Do you know what it's called?
What is what called?
I'm saying what he just said.
Podcast P.
No.
What is
From
it?
the point.
Yeah.
From the point.
It's from the point.
It's from the point.
Hey, shout out from the point, man.
Congratulations,
Yes,
man, on having your first podcast from the point. You know what I'm saying? See, I did that.
Just switched it around. Good. I was like, what?
I want to put you in your host chair for this last question because we're going to give you the last question of the day. And since you're a new host, man, I want you to just, whatever you feel like asking PG over there.
Ah, man. First, when you gonna come on my podcast?
Hey, whenever you need
Smart
me, man.
Yeah.
Whenever you need me.
Good one. Good
I
one.
got you. Whenever you need me, bro.
Easy. Well, I mean, for me, we in different spaces with the podcast right now. For me, like obviously, I ain't got no high schoolers or rookies calling me a GOAT yet. So you're at a different stage. So you've more leaned into the podcast stage than I am right now. But I mean, like how much fun do you have with it? You know what I'm saying? Like how much, when it comes to this, like how much is it stress? How much is it just fun?
Nah, it's I hate these two motherfuckers right here, first and foremost. They make the job hard as fuck. It's fun, man, especially because I get to do it with these two. So we do this shit anyways, just shooting the shit. We on the game, talking shit, like,
Y'all
this
gamers?
is a natural, big time.
Oh, okay.
Big time. So this is a natural, like, outing for us right here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
fine.
it makes it easy. I know when people watch this shit and they're like, man, get in the gym. Like, why you not working on your game? Like, this is a distraction to basketball. Like, honestly, it's not. You know what I mean? Like, because it's an hour and a half, 2 hours out of the day, and we only shoot usually once a week. So it's an easy job. So it's fun, man. Like for me, I say it all the time. It's therapeutic to talk about the game, and like, you know, they might bring up some shit that I don't want to talk about, but it's good for me to get it out and air it out. And now it has legs. Cool. I got it off my chest. So and then in retrospect, other way around. Like it might be some cool shit that I don't give enough, you know, love, or I don't feed into it enough, and they be like, man, you did this, you did that. So it's cool to reflect and talk about that shit as well. So honestly, it's a journey, man. It's fun. This game is a journey.
That's the best way. That's good.
You got any questions for him about hooping?
A hoop question? Man, when was the first, when did you feel like you had it? When was the first day, like first year that you feel like, okay, like I got my bag. I feel like I can be
league?
a pro one day. No.
Oh,
But even if it was before Fresno, like
yeah. You know what it was? It was honestly, it was one day in the summer. And this is just when I knew I was crazy about basketball, right? Because leading up to this, I was taller than all the kids. And I knew I was different just by the way I would think about shit. Like, I was the same way as you. I was tall, but I couldn't dribble. So I would spend hours in the garage, like, working on my handles, watching N1. Like, so fast forward to this moment, this is when I knew I was crazy about basketball and I was crazy about the process of getting better. So, and for people that don't know Palmdale is hot as fuck. It's in the desert, like 100 degrees in the summers. My dumb ass, and where I lived, it was like right where a desert was. So I grabbed a backpack. I went into the desert, filled the backpack up with as many big ass rocks I could, right? And at this time, you might be young. You might not know about the jump soles. You know about jump soles?
Nah.
That's crazy.
Big ass
You don't know about the
shoes
jump
that have
soles?
to-
He young, bro.
Like you walk on your tippy toes.
People would wear them at school for the
your
bounce.
cast?
Yeah.
Your cast. Yeah.
So my dumb
I've
ass.
seen a lot of shit. I don't be forgetting.
So I get these rocks. I put the jump soles on. I put the backpack on. And my block from end to end is probably like a good mile. I'm running up and down the street with like, and I'm probably like 13, 14 years old, but I'm running up and down the street, jump soles on, backpack full of rocks, like, and it's like 100 degrees
Boy,
outside.
bound to win a dunk contest.
Yeah, bro. And I'm like, like running up and down, right? And then after that, I couldn't like hang on the rim. When you 13, 14 years old, like you hanging on the rim is the same thing as you windmilling, right?
Yeah.
So after I did this shit, I go ride my bike to the high school, my high school. High school closed. The gate is probably like from right here to the ground to like where this metal or aluminum shit is, right? That's how high the gate is. So I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna get over this? I managed to climb that shit, right? So I get into the school.
with the rocks.
With the rocks.
No. I dished the rocks.
Rocks,
The
rock is gone.
Now I'm feeling bouncy because I just ran up and down, like, you know what I mean? Now I'm like, damn, I'm bouncy right now. So I ride my bike to the school. I get over the fence. I hop in. I'm in the school now. So the gym is, at this time, my school was new, right? So there was no gym built yet. But they had outside baskets. So I'm like, man, like I'm I could never hang on the rim. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta try to get on the rim. So I'm out there like just running, like no basketball. Like basketball ain't even on me. I'm just out there just.
It's for you. Yeah.
I finally hang. Ah! And that felt like everything to me. And like that's when I knew like, and I'm by myself. There was no homie with me. I was by myself. And so that's when I knew like
That's tough.
I'm crazy about basketball. Like this shit is for me.
Yeah.
And
That's
long
tough.
story short, like that's when I knew I was like, all right.
Can I ask you why the rocks?
Because in my mind, it was
right, but
I ain't
who
got
told-
money for a weight vest.
Right,
Like
but who told you about like put the rocks in your backpack?
it sounded smart as fuck to me. Like, you wear extra weight, you're heavier, so when you take all this shit off, you'll be lighter.
You could have just got a weight and put it in your bag or something that you like. You
I
put
ain't
a
got. I ain't
whole
had.
rock.
How much money
You
you think I
got-
had?
Your daddy has some old weights around the house.
Your
daddy
where
has-
you put? Hey, where you going with them weights?
Your daddy,
Where you going with them weights?
daddy has
The
some.
20-pound, like,
Hey, put them guys. I spent too much money on the weight. Yeah. So that was when I knew I was like, all right, I'm different.
That's tough. That's
So
tough.
there you have it, man. Hey, Trey, we don't want to take up too much more of your time,
Nah,
bro.
man,
We
it was
appreciate you stopping
It
through
was
the
a
podcast.
blessing, man. Appreciate y'all.
Hell of an episode, bro. Y'all make sure y'all check out From the Point.
My man.